Saturday, January 7th, 2023. That's so weird to say 2023. So a lot of things going on. I was going to make a couple of videos and break it down, but I'll just make one video and I'll try to make it as quick as I can. Hope everybody had a good week and hope everybody's going to have a great weekend this weekend. So what do we have? We got money, we got, politics, life, and everything in between. So you heard what happened with Kevin McCarthy. He won he got the bid for the Speaker of the House. I was gonna make a video about this last night, but I'm glad I didn't because I was angry when I first heard the news. But then I went back and watched everything, and the two patriots, Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert, really stood up and did their thing. They actually didn't end up voting for him. It was a common denominator. He didn't get the 218 votes. I think he got 216. But because they voted present, it was enough to get him the votes. And they almost had a knockdown, drag-out fight. Matt Gaetz, one of the politicians from Alabama, and then, because Kevin McCarthy, after I think the 14th round or something like that of voting, he confronted Matt Gaetz or whatever. But that's neither here or there. He got the vote, which we all knew what would happen. But what I liked about it is, Matt Gaetz and Lauren Boebert went on Sean Hannity, I think, in between the 13th and 14th round of voting. And they basically said, hey, we got everything we wanted. I like the fact that they have one vote now, because they took this away in 2019. They have one person, even a Democrat says, hey, we need to get this person out. We need to have a vote. They can do that. That's a Thomas Jefferson rule. And I like that. If you don't keep up with your promises, because anybody can tell you they're going to do something and shake your hand or sign a contract or whatever. But if they don't do it, they're going to hold his feet to the fire. So we'll see how that goes. Do I like the move? No, but there's nothing we can do about it. What it shows me, and this is what I want to get into today, it shows me that people are waking up, and this has opened people's eyes to the tyranny that's going on. We have a lot of different factions in life going on. Again, we got the Elon Musk situation with Twitter. We had Donald Trump in 2016 trying to wake us up and show us we can do things we couldn't imagine we could do, to get this country where he did in those 4 years. And for a guy like him outside of politics to shake up the world the way he did. Also, we got the stuff with Kanye West, Andrew Tate. A lot of freedom fighters are waking up and showing us that, hey, even though we are in the matrix, as Andrew Tate likes to call it, as long as we can wake enough people up, we can get out of it. And it's all about our freedom, guys. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. And I want to be very clear when I say this, okay? I am not knocking anybody for having a job. Okay, I've had many jobs, probably more than most of you. Again, I'm getting ready to be 48 years old, and I've worked many jobs. You know what I mean? But I learned this in my 20s that it's more important to work or to shoot for profits than it is to go for wages. Now, what do I mean by that? Wages are what the Matrix pays us. We have a job. We got a JOB. They call it just over broke, the acronym for job. And we go in there and we trade our time for money. And that's what we're taught to do in elementary school, middle school, high school, and then on to college. We're programmed to be a slave to the system. And again, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that because we definitely need jobs here in America and around the world. We do. But if you're one of those people, this is my former favorite player before he sold out to China. If you're a person that always wanted to know, what it's like not to have a job and work for yourself and stuff like that, the opportunities are there, And what I mean by go for profits instead of wages, because we all need to earn a living. We all need to have a certain amount of money coming in so that we can pay our bills. In order to get freedom, guys, to me, what I try to do, and I've done this since in my 20s for over 20 years now, is I like to buy my time. I've some of the closest people I've ever had in my life are passed away. My father has passed away. My grandparents who raised me have passed away, both of them, and I was there when they both passed, quote unquote, on their deathbed, and I was there with my dad on his deathbed. And let me tell you something. That right there is it's a chin check, because it shows you that we're mortal, right? And no matter how hard you work or what you did in your life, when your time is up, your time is up. And there's nothing you can do. If you're going to die when you're 82 or whenever the good Lord sends you up, that's when you have to go. And there's nothing you can do to change that time. But the time that you can change is the time that you have right now and in the future. And when I try to buy my time, guys, I try to do the best I can to earn profits so that I can buy my time so I don't have to chase wages. When my daddy was passing, he died in 2019. His birthday was September 13th. He had his birthday. He didn't tell anybody he was sick. And long story short, he died 16 days later. He died on the 29th. And a few days after his birthday, he started getting real sick and he wasn't feeling good. And then once we took him to the hospital, we found out he had stage 4 cancer. He had lung and liver cancer. And it was his time, and he wanted hospice at his house, and he wanted me to be there with him. And I did that for 4 days. I was with him every single day, and I remember the joy we had, me spending time with him. But he was in a lot of pain, and I remember thinking, because he had a balcony in his apartment in the hallway, and I went out there. And I prayed to God, and I told him, I'll do anything to get my dad back, please. I mean, guys, let me tell you, and you guys know this, I would have gave up every single red cent I had, my arm, my leg, everything, my car, house, whatever, any materialistic possession I had, I would have gave it to have my dad back. And a few more, if they said give him 6 more weeks, I would have been completely and utterly broke to trade that time for that money. And that's what I'm talking about today. You got to buy your time now, because when you're on your deathbed, you can't buy it. So buy it up front, pay for it up front. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Again, if you're working your ass off at your job and you love your job, this really doesn't apply to you if that's what you want to do. But if you want to say, man, I'm sick of this job and I really want to get some free time to do the things that I enjoy to do, I need to buy my time back, and you need to make profits. And I'll make a specific video series on things you can do to make some profits instead of making wages. But we all need money. Obviously, it's a capitalistic society. Whether you're living in a communist country or a socialist country, capitalism is everywhere. It's all about profits. In order to make those profits, you got to get out there and you got to go to work. But it's one thing to work for someone else, but it's a much better thing to work for yourself, and you're working for your profits. The future's coming, and it's on its way. I love precious metals, I really do. And when I'm out here delivering food or anything that I do, if I go to a garage sale and I find a box of Legos or something and I flip that, or I find some couches or a washer and dryer, or I buy a car and turn it and either get some a lease payment on it or a rent payment on it, or if I buy it for $3,500 and sell it for $5,000, it's a very satisfying situation when you know that that's money that you earned. I like to call it creating money out of thin air. Profits are something else, man. It's a great thing to get that time back, because if you burn the bridge and quit your job and say, you know what, because this is what I love about silver. It's energy. Our money, our time is all energy, and when you put that energy into a job, a job for someone else, let me tell you something. When you're sick and you take a day off and your job is calling you, asking if you're okay and everything else, they don't really care if you're okay. They want to know if you're okay to come back to work. And not saying that every job is like this, but most jobs, you're just, you're replaceable. But people who you're not replaceable to is your parents or your children or anybody else. They can't replace their father or their son or their brother when you spend that time with them. So focus on trying to buy your time, okay? It's 2023, guys. It's going to be a crazy year this year, and I love silver because if today I had to start all over, and let's say I had a job and I was working a certain amount of hours and stuff like that, I would save up maybe 6 to 18 months of living expenses. So if my total living expenses, I'm talking about my rent or my mortgage and my car note, my gas, my food, my everything, my entertainment was $2,000 a month, right? The first thing I would shoot for is $12,000 because that can buy me 6 months. It'll buy you 6 months of time. And then when you buy that time, it'll give you time to go out there and chase profits. And when you chase profits, you're not working for anybody else but yourself, and you have the ability to buy your time back. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love each and every one of you. Keep your head on the swivel. I got that electronic show tonight. I may take some footage and do a little B-roll or whatever and put it all together. But let's get these profits. Let's get our time back, and let's love each other and love this country. And God bless America. And I love each and every one of you. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love.